in the past 10 years, out of like 600 years of publishing, in the past 10 years, it has completely changed.
In 1984, we introduced the Macintosh.
Ladies and gentlemen, Kindle Paperwhite.
iPhone.
Alexa, read my book.
Getting your selection from Audible.
The new version of iBooks is available today. It's a free download.
In the last 4 years, I've made more than $63,000 from the sale of More Than Cash Flow, and that's just from Amazon and bookstores.
So we're in the hands of Amazon and Google and Apple, and they have set the agenda and they have made all the changes, and the publishers have had to follow.
Books, newspapers, radio, flyers, posters, pamphlets, magazines, all of these are forms of media are considered traditional, dating all the way back to the 8th century. In this video, you will watch literature morph, shift, and change from carvings on a stone to an app on your phone, seeing just how much it has been affected by the digital age. We've obviously come a long way from the Codex Amiatinus to the printing press to today's ebook app on everyone's phone. All things literature and publishing have evolved to be more efficient and portable, but to understand where we are and where we are going, we have to know where we've been. The first signs of publishing, which to make things simpler, involves paper, writing, and printing, and its evolution dates back to the 6th century CE in China, where they used block printing, which then evolved into movable type in the 11th century. Paper was passed to Europe by the Arabs, leading to the printing of the Quran. In Germany, at around 1440 to 1450, Johannes Gutenberg became the world's identifiable moment in publishing history, creating printers. This played a large part in the Renaissance, introducing literacy to the middle class. Books, as we know them, are a means of communication, but has come in all forms, from clay tablets in Babylonia to papyrus rolls in Egypt. Aside from a means of communication, another box books need to check off is tangible circulation. That would explain why a note written on a wall or your grocery list isn't considered a book. It's not meant for circulation. But the word tangible is what's tricky here. Would that mean an ebook, a means of communication meant for circulation, isn't a book because it's not in the physical world? Not necessarily. It means our definition is evolving. This is where our definition of books begin to branch apart. We now have traditional and non-traditional publishing. According to Union Square Publishing, traditional publishing is less of a partnership between the writer and publisher and more of a business contract. You send in your manuscript for an editor to look it over, and if they approve, congratulations, you are now a published author. You have sold your book to the publishing house so they can sell it to the public. While this seems all great and fun, there's still much to consider. When you sign a contract, you're signing away the rights to your book. They can edit your page, change the title, and choose the cover to something they think will sell. This can be discouraging to writers who really care about their work. Luckily, with the power of Amazon, Kindle, iBooks, and much more, you can publish the book yourself. Digital books really began with the CD in the 90s, starting out with encyclopedias and movies. Adobe's PDF was released in 1993, and with the internet, Amazon started selling their books online. Fast forward 10 years, and we find the Sony e-reader in 2006. A year later, the Kindle, which immediately gets sold out, skyrocketing the digital publishing industry. But what really boosted the industry was the first Apple iPhone, making reading on devices accessible and efficient. Soon, almost every device produced today has an e-reading feature. The iPad solidified the industry, making reading easy on a larger screen. But reading isn't the only way to consume published works anymore. There are now podcasts and audiobooks on popular platforms like Audible. We no longer have to read, but that's a debate for another day. Whether you go the traditional route or self-publish, your presence on social media could make or break the success of your book. Many publishers look for authors who already have an audience and work to get it. Having a blog where you consistently post and gain attention and interaction will increase your appeal to houses who would be more willing to sign with you. At this point in the process, it's completely a business interaction. The more value they see, the more likely they'll agree. The idea that a publisher does all the marketing for you doesn't always hold true. Oftentimes, you'd have to do a lot of it yourself if you want to do well. Marketing begins long before you finish writing. One of the many platforms you can use is Twitter. The vast and endless world of this social media platform holds many writers who have already done this and will continue to do this for a while. Just like most things on the internet, there's trends, hashtags, and short-lived events that roll in and out of the years. Twitter has a very large community of writers who interact and help each other grow, giving each other the platforms publishers want. They all fall under the umbrella hashtag writing community. There, you would see annual events like hashtag PitMad, which is where you would usually tweet about your story saying it's a cross between blank and blank to give people a really quick idea about what your book is about. For example, my book is a cross between Harry Potter and The Great Gatsby. Other Twitter users will like the tweet to support it, and only agents looking to publish it with you will retweet it. If an agent does like your pitch, they'll contact you for a sample of your work to read it over and approve. This strays from the traditional process of reaching out to publishers and makes it more of a two-way communication. It also utilizes the features on social media. The more likes your post gets, the more likely editors will see it. It makes the publishing world more public and competitive, seeing other authors trying to reach out to the same publishers, making a more stressful and sometimes toxic environment. Another platform that has been changing the publishing process is NaNoWriMo, a website which stands for National Novel Writing Month. This is an annual month-long event where you try to start and finish writing an entire book in the month of November. There's a whole bunch of groups to support you, authors to give you advice, and check on your progress. If you fail, at least it was a fun experience and you've made some meaningful connections with a big jumpstart on your story. If you succeed, then you just wrote an entire book that you can work to publish now. It has been pushing people to be more proactive and changing the seemingly distant dream of being an author. The site connects you to other writers, published authors, and even editors who are participating in the challenge themselves. After completing the challenge, NaNoWriMo connects you to ways to self-publish, from formatting the book, choosing a platform, and designing your cover. The way publishing has changed in the digital age does not end with novels, but involves magazines too. Titles like National Geographic, Vogue, People's Magazine, and The Economist have all gone digital with online subscriptions to stay relevant. According to the 2018 Maquota magazine consumer study, 42% of adults said they've read an online magazine in the last month. With people constantly on the go and our world speeding up, editors and publicists need to make sure that their consumers are still interested. They do this by making their content easily accessible. In short 10-second videos on Instagram or a short blurb on Twitter, they can redirect their audience to an article or feature on their website. There are now apps for readers and writers alike. There's Libby for audiobooks and e-reading, Goodreads so anyone can critique a book, and Pro Writing Aid with AI that edits and suggests style choices to improve your writing. The literary world is being shrunk down to a pocket size. What used to be a difficult industry to break through in is now available to anyone with an internet connection. Now don't be misguided like I was. I thought with a huge part of our population owning smartphones, familiar with the internet, and even having some form of presence online, that digital media was the leading form of media, with traditional following after. But no, traditional media is still leading the masses, and by far at that. We've got quite some time before we've gone completely or at least mostly digital.